Sorry about that. The last video got cut off a little bit early, but this will be on March the 21st, not November, March the 21st, 2025. This will be your altcoin video update, but I did want to finish with the last statement with the news was the price action with the XRP was more the fact came out and there wasn't much to talk about after the fact and the news came out with the judge. If we look at the AMP, it's attempting to break out of this falling channel again. If we go into the full screen, but you can see if we zoom into the hour time frame, it tried to break out again, but now it's got to hold this area right here as support as it's back testing the breakout. And if it fails to hold this breakout, the price in AMP is going to come all the way back down, probably like this, to lower support again of this falling wedge, something that you've seen almost repeatedly, it trying to break out of this area. See this? Fails to hold it, comes back up, runs along it, and then comes all the way back down. So that's something that we're watching out for. I still think somewhere in the shorter term that we're going to have some kind of bounce like what we show here in yellow, but that doesn't mean it's going to hold it. I wouldn't forecast it to hold it. We've had a golden bearish cross. We're oversold right now as we're down 70%. That's something that I'm going to continue to watch out for there. Hbar, we had this little bit of a bounce, but we were in this head and shoulders topping out reverse or mountain double top here, our topping reversal pattern with that mountain double top forms. It forms an topping reversal pattern right there. And we had a technical target down there of the breakout, which would be from the top to the bottom to the point of a breakout, and that gets you down here to 15 cents. We've had the bearish cross here in Hbar, where you can see the 50 is below the 100 day, and I believe eventually this technical target here in the shorter term, maybe this weekend, is going to get hit. And then as we draw out into the future in Hbar, with the 50 continuing to descend, I think it's going to eventually get underneath the 100-day moving average, the 200-day moving average there, and that could potentially force you, after the 15-cent clears, get out of there. After the 15-cent clears, we come all the way down to that next target, which would be down here. Make that a drastically different color. Oops, that's way too dark. Which would be down there at about 9 cents. So that's something that we're watching out for. Hbar, XDC, you can see we have this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. The technical target is 0.042. You can see that head and shoulders out there. Another reason to become members of Jabroni Killers. You would have known that the bearish cross was going to happen here, which it's probably going to happen this evening. We're having a little bit of a bounce off of the 200-day moving average in XDC, but I think this descending 50 is going to be major overhead resistance. And I believe in the shorter term, this is going to have its next leg to the downside, and your next leg is down to 0.042. And from the 0.042, fulfilling that technical target on the head and shoulders, I believe there could be quite a substantial bounce from maybe the 0.044 to potentially back as high as the 0.06 to 0.07 range. And then we would have to diagnose that further. Algo, you can see we did come down and hit this technical target down here at the 17-cent level, and then we attempted a mini rally here where we thought we could come as this golden bearish cross has now taken place. You see that where the 50 is underneath the 200 and the 100 days on top of the 200. We thought we could try to potentially form a little bit of a rally here off that 17 cents, which is a technical level, but we haven't been able to do it yet. We thought we could come up to 23 cents. It hasn't happened. We've only responded as high as just under 21 cents, because we do know our next leg to the downside is going to be 10 cents. And from that 10-cent range, we could go from 10 cents all the way back into the 18 cents or potentially as high as the 24 cents as a relief rally after coming down to the next technical level. So that's something that we're going to watch this weekend to see if we can't get that little bit of a bounce that we were forecasting from back when the price was at about 24 to 26 cents, bouncing off that 17-cent major support level, or if it's just going to fall straight through the 17-cent level down to the 10 cents. That's something we're going to continue to watch. What else do we have? DGB. You can see DGB. We have a technical target down here of 0.00599 off of this head and shoulders. Still don't want to buy you. Topping out reversal pattern there where we have the left shoulder right here, the head, and then the elongated right shoulder. And we gave you the first mover advantage on here, and that's another reason to become subscribers to the channel and follow it and become members of Jabroni Killers, because we gave you that when the price was all the way back here, that this was likely headed down. When the price was all the way back there, we let you out ahead of what was going on, and then the rest of the field caught on. We told you after we had these two mini pumps right here that these were likely just technical rallies, one manipulated by the news that was released on that Sunday, and that the price was going to keep coming down because we had a technical target of 0.00599 from this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern, and now we're trading down towards there, and that's what I'm forecasting, and that's what I still believe is going to happen. Quant, you can see we did hit that $69 level. We've had the golden bears cross where the 50 now is all the way down to $87. The 200 is sitting right on top of the 100-day moving average, both at about $92 and change. We tried to get a little bit of a rally here as we drew out, bouncing off this 69-cent level. We thought we could come potentially as high as the 89 cents. We have rallied a little bit, but we only came back up to $80.99. And remember, we were forecasting the $69 target back here when we were failing to get back above the top part of this red trading zone. So we'll see, just like the other coin, Algo, coming off this level. Can we make this little relief rally that you would expect to see? If not, we're going to be coming down to some lower levels. And our next major lower level would be, if we clone that, would be down here near this wick bottom at $49 and change. We're going to change that to a lighter green. That would be your next target if you can't sustain any kind of a rally here. And even if you can sustain a rally back up to the $87, this still might be your next major move to the downside, retesting a much lower low down here at 49.36. And that's something that we're going to watch out for. Iota, another one that we hit our 16-cent target, another one that we've had the golden bearish cross, and there you can see the 50 is substantially below the 200 and the 100-day moving average. We're on a little bit of a bounce here that we're trying to hold, but if we fail to hold this, I think Iota's might be coming down here to this 0.0975 level next, and that's something that we're going to be watching out for over the weekend and next week. Velo is another one where the golden bearish cross has happened. You can see the 200-day is well above now the 50-day. The 100-day is just below the 200-day. We were in this rising wedge. We told you back here when the subscriber first brought this back to my attention, it could have been a Jabroni Killer member, and then we had a few commenters telling us we were the only ones bearish in Velo. We said if we can't hold this right here, this top part of this triangle, this rising wedge, which is a bullish continuation pattern but a bearish reversal pattern at the breakout point, we would come down to lower support, and we did. We came down 59.69%. At current price, we're down 66.93%, and on a confirmed breakdown, which 6.5 to 7%, 6.5 to 10, 6.5 or 7 out of 10, they do break down, and the technical target of a rising wedge is down there at the bottom of the wedge, and that's where we put that 0.002429 target. And right now, we're attempting to confirm a breakdown. It doesn't mean this has to happen now. We could still bounce back within this pattern, because we still have room for this pattern before it technically has to break down. But we're getting very late into the pattern, and some of the things that we've been warning about are taking place. You can see LCX, we did have the nice bounce that we were talking about the other day. You can see we had the golden bearish cross. we had that bounce off that 14.5 cent. You can see we drew it in green, and we did wick up as high as 19.19, just below 20 cents, where we had a potential high from the bounce off the 14.5 cent level as high as potentially 22 cents. We did wick up as high as 19 cents, just below 20 cents, and then we did give it all back. So we'll see if we can't continue to trade back to the upside in the short term, or if that's as high as this rally is going to go, because we do know after that rally that we drew out in green, our next underneath target is down there at 9 cents. Vtho is another one old Vincenzo kept you level-headed and calm when we had this massive 2 or 3 day rally right here, that the price was likely coming back down to the 100-day moving average, and we were substantially below the 100-day moving average. And if you notice, we are below this pre-pump, because something that gave us the education with the information and a super simple and easy way to trade this was we only had a 2-day volume candle spike followed by crashing to no volume, less than what we had before, and that led us to believe that we could just be coming down, and this was nothing more than just a short-term pump, and we continued to follow through with that, and that seems to be what actually happened. XCN's the same thing. We had people ask about after this massive 25x rally, and my philosophy is never to chase a 25x rally. It's to ride the pump and take the profits, and we told you that the price was going to come down in here. The golden bearish cross is going to happen. There hasn't been any capitulation yet. We're about 3 or 4 days away. It's been a nice, from the bearish cross, it's been an orderly decline ever since that 25x move. And right now you can see from pre-pump, we went up 20x, and at current price, we're only up 300%. Still a solid gain, but far below the 20x, because we've given back in an orderly decline. Notice there hasn't been any big drop. It's just been a steady, orderly decline. From the top to current price, we're down 77.72%. Another reason we always say there will be better buying opportunity, but at some point there's going to be a capitulation here where you see something like that, and that'll be the capitulation to where we could have a little return rally after, but that's something that we're going to continue to watch out for. Thank you for following us. Be part of the growing movement to 10,000 followers to help bring truth, trust, education, and information back into the crypto sphere. Peace and love to my beautiful audience.